Vocaloid offers everyone a common language and means of expressing and sharing thought and feeling. Anyone can come to understand the emotions of another, just as anyone can share their understanding and perspective of the world with those around them. The Vocaloid themselves are programs synthesizing the human voice, a lifeless tool, but one that has allowed countless individuals to create something special together. The result is something eternal, something that will never fade or tarnish. Some say the chirpy, mechanical product is cheap or undesirable, but I say it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. One can find a Vocaloid song about more or less anything. Any thought or emotion can be put to voice in this universal means of expression, and that, of course, includes meta-commentary about the singing text-to-speech itself. I talk a lot about Vocaloid, mostly about the producers and how their work has created a beautiful collective of understanding and empathy. But at an even simpler level, the fact that Vocaloid exists is in and of itself something to celebrate. Because with Vocaloid especially, the medium is the message. 2017 saw the 10th anniversary of both Hatsune Miku and the Kagumis, and with that, the marvel that is the existence of Vocaloid was brought further into the public conscience, many wonderful pieces of music resulting. Personifying the Vocaloid software from an outside glance may seem ridiculous. Attributing perspective and emotion to a digital voice and lines of code might just seem like self-gratifying nonsense, and in a way it is. There is no set idea or collective, no personality or guideline that defines what Hatsune Miku is. But therein lies the beauty. In Restart, 40m-P and Neru characterize Miku as a record keeper that will preserve their feelings and take them far into the boundless future. No matter what may happen, those ideas will remain unfaltering. There's difference, however, in even those similar presentations. Initial song is light and bouncy, offering the assurance that far into the future, the feelings everyone has put to music will remain unchanged. Where Even So I Will Sing highlights a struggle to convey feeling, have it reach the audience and even the producer through the turmoil that life will throw at them. What much more personally resonates, though, are the songs that take a much more autobiographical stance. Pinocchio-P and even the long-retired Wowaka released songs on the same album that documented their journey with Vocaloid and their feelings therein. The still very much active Pinocchio-P details his shifting perspective on the lifeless piece of software, explaining how that very malleable in existence is what is so special and has allowed Miku to become an invaluable part of his life. Beyond the thought-worthy ideas that Pinocchio-P always puts into his songs is that sense of gratitude and desire to move forward regardless of what the future has in store. By contrast, the long and active Wowaka writes on how even though Vocaloid is something far behind him, it was an invaluable part of his life and an aspect of it that he will carry with him forever. As a producer who has always written deeply personal music, someone for whom Miku's voice truly was his own, Unknown Mother Goose is a perfect return and final send-off to one of the major forces who made Vocaloid what it is today. Restart is an incredible product for what it represents. The album features legends who have shaped the Vocaloid community, while once describing how Vocaloid in turn went on to shape and influence their own lives. The songs speak to the wonder of our medium here, while showing how the feelings of the producers can be shared and resonated with around the world. I firmly believe that the music these people create can and have changed lives. What was particularly special about Restart was the return of Wowaka. His song and its message are made particularly emphatic by the fact that it's been 6 years since Wowaka really did anything with Vocaloid. This appreciation, regardless of time, really goes to hammer in the importance that Vocaloid had on his life, and indeed, the importance Vocaloid can have on people in general. And on that note, let's stop beating around the bush and address the elephant in the room. As I said, Vocaloid about Vocaloid has been a thing for almost as long as Vocaloid has existed. But of particular note, something that can absolutely not be avoided or understated in this conversation is the absolute masterpiece, Odds and Ends. Odds and Ends is one of the greatest pieces of music ever written. It takes all of the elements of everything we've discussed so far and executes them perfectly. The song is a deeply personal autobiography, detailing the retired producer Ryo's history with Vocaloid, how it saved him and how his career as a Vocaloid producer affected him. The song is sung, however, mostly from Miku's perspective, Ryo characterizing her as someone who gave him a voice and pushed him forward into being the person he is today. It's a story about how some trashy program was able to deeply impact his life. Throughout the song, the line occasionally flips to Ryo's perspective, detailing his feelings of uselessness that Miku helped him through. Odds and Ends is one of the most celebrated Vocaloid songs, and for good reason. The song was released after Ryo's output as a Vocaloid producer had slowed to a crawl, and marked his farewell to the medium, his goodbye, documenting how important it was and always will be to him. 4 years later, he released Name of the Sin, but Odds and Ends is still certainly his definitive work. Project Diva, and particularly the arcade version, gave it an absolutely gorgeous PV that has on multiple occasions drawn tears out of me. One man's personal account has become for many the perfect example and means of explaining how Vocaloid can change lives and push people forward. Why a synthesizer and a picture of an anime girl can mean so much to so many. In 2016, the Nico Nico Cho Party ended its concert with a heart-stopping performance of Odds and Ends. To this day, not a single concert performance has ever come close to approaching the quality and the pathos of that performance. Its directing and ensemble performance perfectly bringing to life the value of the medium that Ryo so beautifully expressed 4 years prior. Vocaloid can mean anything to anyone. So many hands have had a role in creating the medium that we have today that it is truly something for everyone. I love Vocaloid. Those lifeless, eternal voices that have told so many stories in so many ways. And nothing has expressed that quite as clearly or as powerfully as the Vocaloid songs about Vocaloid. With any luck, these feelings will keep going, far into the future.